What's up guys, it's Dags and welcome to one of my videos. So we've just finished the second UK Extravaganza and we've got Matt with us who has just come 10th place, so top 16 with Virtual World. So yeah, he's done amazing throughout the day. He went X2, so yeah, we're going to go and have a look at his deck profile. So Matt, really, you're the one that's played Virtual World. I don't really know it as well as you, so I'll let you explain.
I mean, to be honest, I think I don't know much better than you because I've only been playing it about a week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our first main event, I have topped and I've broken my curse, so very excited. So we worked on it quite late last night. I think the main deck I had nailed down for about a week. It was just the extra in the side I was working on. So just a couple of things obviously to explain in there. But it's the main deck is very, very standard, particularly with the new support. So we are playing obviously the free Lulu, because it's the best one. It gets you what you need. And then the other best starter is the free Lily. I know I've heard some people talk about cutting this because it's like we've got the new level 6, we just normal summon and this bricks.
Yeah.
This sets your graveyard up. It's just as important as Lulu starting your plays.
Yeah.
Free GG, which is really, really nice because it can add things back in the end phase. So it can like keep you stocked with Lulus or Laos in hand.
Yeah.
And of course it, all level 3. Free Lao. This is actually, out of all the 6s, the one I probably hate the most. It's one that's really good, particularly in the mid and the late game, and it's a pseudo starter, like all of them are. It's just if you brick on this early, it's not great, but it's a tuner. It's very important.
Yeah.
Free Nyan Nyan. I was going between 2 and 3, and just decided to go 3 and play 41 just to maximize as many Virtual World monsters as I could have.
Yeah.
And it's very important. You don't want to banish too many of Desires because you want to be able to use it to shuffle your banishes from Desires back. This is the one thing of this card is it can return your face down banished.
Yeah,
cards,
so powerful, such a powerful thing to be able to do that. Yeah.
Exactly. I think I used this to summon Gossip Shadow more than anything though. And the last one is the new monster. Just the one Tao Tao. I didn't play any more than the one because it's just felt with brick, but this was really, really strong. I was thinking of playing 0, but I'm really happy I played it. It lets you play through Lancer in particular.
Yeah.
And just be able to bring it back. So,
I've heard.
You don't know. Yeah, we just say what it does.
Well, no, I was going to say actually was I heard from a couple of Virtual World players in my chat today and things like that, just that they think they really rate this one, and because it really helps in the mirror, it actually helps them make VFD, even though they've been VFD'd and been called Wind, because it's an Earth tuner and they're able to it makes itself a tuner. So I've heard a lot of, especially today, Virtual World players praising this for helping out in the mirror match basically.
It's brilliant. It's like you won't summon it every game because, to be fair, the cost is a bit steep because while the other discard ones could be any card, this has to be a Psychic or a Worm.
Yeah. So
the cost is a bit steep, but when it goes off, it's really good. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I actually used it to contribute for VFD, but there were other plays with it that allowed me to play for it. And there was like, I think I'd gotten the Birud in a mirror match round 7 and was able to play for it because of this card.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's good. That's brilliant.
That's all the Virtual World monsters. 3 hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Gamma, and of course the driver to go Rivet.
Yeah.
I mean, these are. I'll just move that away. These are very standard with Virtual World decks because you just have the widest matchup utility.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to ask about the bells as well after how you found them, but yeah, Gammas and Dashes are amazing at the moment.
Yeah, and this deck can bait things. This deck can bait things like Ash out early on, so it's not so bad when you go first.
Yeah.
And then it's this card fodder anyway for Tao Tao and the spells and traps. And if you do resolve it in your turn, you've got a level 6, which is really good.
That's fair enough as well. Yeah. Bells,
it's underperformed for me. So in the last Extravaganza, it overperformed.
Yeah.
And I kept it in because there's quite a few control-based decks that play things like Nadir Servant or Sangreen, things which can summon from the grave but can also do it from the deck. So it's like a second copy of Ash.
Yeah.
And then it can do things like hit Cloud Castle, or it can hit Drytron things. And it came up a couple times. I built a preparation of rights in the Drytron matchup, but I'll be honest, this was probably the one that underperformed the most.
Yep.
And knowing what I played against, like particularly more comboed and control what I thought I would.
Yep.
I'd probably go for like Nibiru or Droll in the main instead.
Yeah, really, main deck in Nibiru's. That's a bit of a shift as well,
I
especially as most people were really against main deck Nibiru's not long ago. So that's I mean, I know that there was one player who was main deck in Lanciers, so I don't know if that's something that you may But
Most Drytron players will main deck a Lancia because they can search it.
yeah. No, but I mean, in virtual world, people will main deck in Lancia apparently.
Wow.
But yeah. So
yeah,
no worries. I'll let you carry on.
So, Free City, they did get ashed a few times, but oh well.
Yeah.
Most of the time it didn't matter. And the free King Long, because you just got to play it. It's your key searcher, and it's really nice because some people don't realise that it's some people have monster effects that only negate activations, not effects. So they don't realise that, and then you negate it like I'm gonna negate that, and it's like no, you're not, because it's not an activation, it's an effect. But the most important thing is this loads up your banish pile as well. So sometimes you might get stopped and you've got like one banished card, you've got Chi-Chi. You can just like negate your own monster to banish something and then have the Chi-Chi life, which is really nice.
Yeah, you got that pop when
Free Desires, this is the best deck to play Desires, I think, because you can just shuffle the stuff back in with Nyan. I didn't play Prosperity, and the main reason for that is chiefly the main things I've been playing in are been remote duels. I was not going to put out 200 odd quid for Prosperities just for this one event.
That makes sense.
So I probably would play it if I had it, because it's just very good for fixing bad hands, which happened a few times for me. But no, I just didn't have them.
Solid old Desires.
Two finished very good. I've been playing around between 2 and 3. I wouldn't have minded a third. I'm on 41 already. I wanted to maximize the monsters rather than this, because this is also a hard monster per turn. Maybe I'll put it to 3 because it will fix the bad hands. But on the other hand, people know how to counter the King Long, so I'm on. Yeah, it was alright. It came up. And then the money telly. I think I only drew it once, but it was nice to just.
Just nice to have it. You can always tutor out what you need.
Yeah, exactly. And then last cards are 2 Chi-Chi and 1 Zhuanyu. Of course, this used to be 3 Chi-Chi for most people. It is now 2 and 1 because I always hated drawing this card in multiples, which happened once actually anyway. Because it doesn't really do anything in hand if you're trying to start your plays. You just, you ideally just want to search it and play it when you need it. This card is insane. It is amazing. It is incredible. It is not a quick play in your opponent's turn, as I found out in round 7. But it's really good. The actual field effect never came up because I never drew it.
Always the grave effect.
Or I can discard it. If it's the grave effect, it lets you play through Lance Nibiru, and you just shuffle it back to Chi-Chi and you send it back to the grave. And if you banish it off Desires, well, you were winning anyway before playing this card, so whatever.
That's fair. Do you ever miss the third trap at all, the third Chi-Chi, or because no, not at all. No, that's fair.
Yeah, but the other thing as well with the Chi-Chi, as long as you got one, because part of it as well was a lot of the time in the older combos you had to have the second Chi-Chi in the grave, like you ideally want them handed on the grave to level modulate. But with this now, as long as you got the discard, it doesn't matter about the level modulation so much because you can just grab the level you need.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
So for the extra deck, we play 1 Cloud Castle. And I'll explain this a bit because there's some tech things in this. 1 Cloud Castle, 1 Crocodile, 1 Vermilion. This card was one of the best cards here. 1 Shen, it's really good. 1 Stardust Charge, 1 Coral Dragon. This, which I'd never summoned before this event, and I summoned it about 3 or 4 times. This was my MVP.
You really rate it today, it's put in work, you said.
And it's Killing Crystal Ring. So this is the pack spice, I believe. It's where we saw it, and of testing with a friend of ours, he suggested so many over the last week to play this. I'll play it. The idea is you don't make it alongside the VFD. If you get stopped, you can often make this, and then you still have that negate. So you're not really using it to stop in the Nibiru beforehand. In testing, it came up quite nicely and did win me games I shouldn't have won. But here, I just never even needed it, or when I ran into it, it got negated. I got gammered in the mirror match. It got flipped, I think, against Dinos before I could use it. The Cloud Castle at 2 is obviously a more standard ratio. I only needed the second Cloud Castle once, and I still won the game anyway. But having like this not actually come up that much, I might consider
changing it.
The other card which you'll notice is missing is Chao Feng. Chao Feng was required in the previous version of the deck because if you drew a really bad hand like double GG or GG Nian, you needed to pop the Chao Feng Chi-Chi to get the Lao Lao to then carry on playing and make your VFD. But because you've got the new trap card, you don't need Chao Feng. So while it can lead to some nicer balls, or you can search an ally, Justice, Cycle Reader. It was its use, which was already not often, wasn't even needed. So it would be akin to playing a 14 card extra deck. So I just
Okay.
Yeah, everything here. I mean, obviously, I never summoned this because this never resolve.
Yeah.
I never summoned Coral Dragon.
Yeah.
If you're playing Coral, if this, I think you have to play Coral Dragon. But yeah, so Coral Dragon and Zolkin, I'll consider.
Your XCs as well.
And the Exceeds, yep, 6 Exceeds. And these were stapled in. I mean,
yeah,
this was also why we could think of
Fortune Tune. Yeah,
the Fortune, this card is amazing. I didn't actually come up for the use I have done, but against back row decks, it's really good, which is why I don't play it much. Back row much. This was the MVP XC. Just being able to summon this. Sometimes people hold onto the beer for too long.
Yeah,
you just make this and it's like, okay, whatever. And if you stop you, or
yeah,
they slow you down, just being able to make this is really nice.
Yeah.
And 7, I love this card. I used to play it in Chaos Dragons, and what a lot of people forgotten how good this card is. It's not even bouncing something on your opponent's side of the field. It's putting a hand trap back in your hand or putting a resource back in your hand.
It's being able to choose and decide a player and basically have that ready for your opponent for the next turn. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's not fan, not beyond. This is the best rank 6 in this deck.
Zeus.
Zeus, because you play Exceeds, and of course the very, very fun dragon, of which we play 2 copies. Never made double calamities. I don't feel often that's the best play anyway. I think I'd rather sit on a Shen alongside it or Gossip.
Yeah.
But I don't think I actually summoned 2 in one match, but you need to.
Just in case, you never know. And onto the side deck.
Yeah, so obviously, we had late changes on this. This was the thing that finally, I mean, this coalesced before the extra deck. See, there was something I was going to do. I was going to play Beatrice for like those traps, but we decided not to. With extravaganzas, you could often go against a lot of rogue, not just meta. So I wanted to be prepared for everything.
Definitely, yeah.
So 3 Nibiru for the combo decks. I think I sided it in a few times. I only really sided it in when I didn't know what I was playing, when my opponent scooped before revealing knowledge. And I think it never really made an impact, but obviously you don't go into an event without Nibiru at the moment, I think, somewhere.
Just a good card.
This card is really good at the moment. I mean, Virtual World can play through it a bit better now, but again, it depends on their hand.
Yeah.
And then you've got Dinos, and you've also got the Tri-Brigade deck, which this also hits because they want to banish from the graveyard to summon their stuff.
Yeah.
So you want that. And then, of course, for Drytron, we do play the free Droll and 2 Cycle Reader. Only 2 because there's something else I wanted to play. And wanted to, and this is an incredibly narrow. I mean, I played 2 Drytron and I saw it.
It's for Drytron, it's for Drytron.
Yeah. It's like basically you want one of these cards. So if you play 5, you shouldn't see it.
D1, yeah. So it should be able to stop Drytron enough. Yeah. I'm with you.
So yeah, and then 2 Impermanents. So I was testing this out because with combo decks being big, this is kind of getting a bit better again now because against Drytron and the Mirror, it's not that good. It's only good against certain plays because obviously everything is from hand or grave.
Yeah.
And obviously Eldritch doesn't do much, but then now you've got like the Tri-Brigade decks and the Dragon Link deck. This is getting better.
Yeah.
So I had 1 copy and I decided to do 2 rather than 2 of each, and this actually did come up.
I agree with you. I think in
the
terms
case of Winder, it was I wouldn't main it, I think, at the moment, but I would definitely have at least 2 copies inside.
I think Imperm's good at the moment. It's a lot better than people anticipated.
And then I did somewhat respect back row decks, Reboot and Harvest River Duster.
Yeah.
Just went for these because rather than the Cyclone, because while obviously the Eldritch you'd rather banish, I just wanted the highest impact cards for it.
Makes sense, that makes sense.
Again, I never played a back row heavy deck, so I kind of got off a bit lucky here.
Yeah.
I think I started him once when I didn't know what I was playing against, and just in case.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
But, yeah, these never got sided in, but I wouldn't take them out.
Yeah.
And that's
do you remember all of your matchups at all?
Yes. So I played. So round 1, I played against I want to say pure Tri-Brigade.
Yeah.
He played like the Ancient Warrior Link. I 2-0'd him. It was just interesting. It's like some more like some of the barrier statue, and it was a bit tough to get past it, but I got through it in the end.
Yeah.
And I 2-0'd him. I think I 2-0'd him. Game 2 was against. What was game 2 against? That was Shadow's. That was Shadow Invoked.
Shadow's,
I read it as invoked Dogmaticum, called the wrong thing of VFD, but he just couldn't really out the board. And then game 2 was quite fun because he had the Winder and a Beast, and I kind of just had loads of special summons, so I just held him, hoping to draw into something to out it, and he couldn't kill me. And then for my turn 2, obviously get a second, I drew the Imperm, negated the Winder, and just took control. Game 3 was a buy. My opponent turned up and then like dropped. Apparently, he couldn't play anymore. So I got 9.
Very nice. Yeah, always nice to have a when you're 2-0 get a buy.
Game 4 and 5 were absolutely horrific. There were 2 Drytron mirrors. It is like the first one, I like won the die roll and I just locked him out, but he didn't reveal what he was playing. It is actually one of our locals, really nice guy. But I did brick twice in a row. I drew like triple king long and something else. I think like hand trap or something, and he just Zeused me. And then I drew like double Chuchi and like 1 search. And again, like I had double hand trap to stop him, but he was able to just Zeus me again. And then the Drytron, the other Drytron player, he just opened the nuts. He went first, opened the nuts. I just scooped.
Sometimes it happens.
2, again, I kind of bricked, and he just played for the hand traps and Zeused me, and I couldn't out him. And it's weird because those are supposed to be theoretically good matchups for this deck, but but apparently not. Got really brick. So the next game was Dinos. And
this is round 6, is this?
Round 6, yeah.
Round 6 is Dinos.
First. Yeah, he won die roll, went first and passed, so I OTK'd him. And he did have the Nibiru, but I had the Gossip up way beforehand. And just OTK'd him with lots of big monsters. And then game 2, again, he went first, and he did actually set up a board. He had like Dulker and everything, and it got a bit kind of nitty gritty with like, you know, Zeus and trying to push through everything. But in the end, I just was able to break through. He had UCT. I was able to negate the Dulker, push past the UCT, and set up the gates, and he couldn't respond. Game 7 was against Vlad, who was streaming, and that was a virtual world mirror. And I'll be honest with him, I think he drew similar hands to what I drew against Drytron.
Brick
never
hands.
really made any big plays. I went first anyway and just locked him out. I already knew what he was playing. He played him. And then game 2, he bricked out. And then game 8, round 8 was against Joe. Which was Mirrorlisk Tri-Brigade. And again, I went first. I kind of drew a really weird hand, but I still made VFD through 2 hand traps, which was quite cool. And in game 2, he made Appaloosa, Simorg, Avian, and I had like the worst hand ever, but he didn't negate the Desires, which then drew me into stuff to get to GG with protection.
So you're just able to play.
And that's how I won that game. So he just couldn't out it. And like Appaloosa was 24, and then he negated something, so it was 18. He didn't want to use his Apex Avian for a bit. You know, I've got past the Simorg, and I just ground him down, and then they just won. So.
Nice. So 5-2 at the end of 6 and 2 at the end of 8 rounds. 5-2, 6 and 2 at the end of 8 rounds. That's and 10th place overall over I think it's 129 people, I believe it was. 133 people. So 10th place. Yeah, honestly, hats off to you, mate. You did amazing. Is there any shout outs or anything you'd like to make?
The main shout outs, obviously everyone from the Crazy Crew, who obviously we test and chill out with. The main 2 shout outs, of course, yourself, Diddy, and Kiri, because you were up all night testing, and I suppose Jordan as well, because we were up all night testing till like 2 o'clock last night. And I've been chatting to Kiri Matt a lot about the deck food, because he plays it as well. And also a shout out to our supremest of all providers, because he provided me with the deck.
Got you the cards. Got you the cards.
He got me the cards. So shout out to our supreme provider.
Yeah.
Go unnamed.
That's awesome. Thank you very much for coming on and sharing your deck profile exclusively as well. So I really appreciate that, and congratulations on your 10th place. Like we said, your the curse is over, or the drought is over. You've got your top again, and you're all good. So more to come.
Oh, mate, continue.
Right now, thank you very much. Cheers.